for me is that it doesn't feel like work. You know? So it's hard work without having to work hard. 15, 16, and I was like the youngest producer DJ ever to get like a Beatport #1. It's like a kickstart for your whole career. So you start and you start touring and you get bookings. So I was playing Vegas and I was playing India and then I was playing all over the globe and I had to be everywhere. And I remember I was just doing it without enjoying it. And I just didn't enjoy it. I was just doing it because I felt like I have to do it. But then again, this is your career, but it didn't feel like a career yet because I was so young. So I didn't have any responsibilities. I didn't have any normal job ever. I think a lot of DJ producers would give up in that situation. You can never force yourself to do that. It has to be natural. It has to be inside you. You have to be so crazy about something that you cannot think of anything else. It's all or nothing. That's literally my life motto. Simple, normal life. I love that. I love to have that as soon as possible when I get home.
Is that because you didn't have that growing up?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Two Fries Podcast, aka the #1 podcast in Winnipeg.
Yes, sir.
But now I guess Kenora. And then somebody said like North America, and someone said like, I don't know, the world. And like someone said the universe, but we're probably here with the best artist in the universe. Please welcome.
Oh,
Julian
wow.
Jordan.
Hey.
Thank you. All right.
How's it feel to be the #1 in the universe?
Bro, I don't know what to say about it. I already had the feeling, but you never know. It's nice to hear it from someone else.
Nice to finally hear.
From a guy you just met. From a random dude.
You tell yourself in the more I'm the best. You look in the mirror and now you're just like, yeah, it's nice to hear.
I love it. I love
Brother,
it.
thank you so much for letting us do this with you and being here.
Thank
We
you.
were just talking off the camera and you've been here for about a week now, right?
No, I just arrived yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Domi was telling me that there were some DJs that have been there for a week.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah, there are
yeah.
like a few DJs that were staying at his other place for like a week straight. But
Okay.
we just arrived because
wow.
we had to be somewhere else before.
Yeah.
Did you have a show before this? Like, what's your touring schedule look like? Are you on tour right now?
Yeah.
What's the vibe?
So summer is like my busiest period. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like last week I did like 4 countries in 5 days.
Wow.
So ended in Greece and then went from Greece straight to here. So it was like a hectic flight schedule.
Yeah.
Wow. Who's the logistics on the flight schedule? Who figures that all out?
Oh yeah, that's
you have a person to take
yeah,
care of
yeah. We have
Beautiful.
a pretty good team for that.
Love that.
And the guy that does it for me, he's really good.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
And he's always awake. That's also really nice because I can call him up in the night when something happens or a flight got canceled or whatever, in which time zone I'm in.
Yeah.
And he's always awake. I don't know why, but he fixes it.
He's your guy.
Shout out to Tim.
Shout out to I don't know who you are, but shout out to you, brother.
Brother, let's dive into your journey because, you know, being at the top of the game, it didn't just happen overnight. There was a lot of hard work. So walk me through what got you started in music.
You know, the thing about music for me is that it doesn't feel like work. You know? So it's hard work without having to work hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I started when I was 12, so back then I didn't really know what working was. Life was not serious. I didn't have anything to think about, just like I want to do something fun.
Right.
So yeah, you know, I was just making music on my PC in my bedroom, and basically that's it. And I was just sharing it online.
Yeah.
And then like all of a sudden you get recognition, and yeah, you start to get more known. And then, you know, when you're having a good time and you're doing what you love, it never really feels like work. And basically that is, yeah, still the vibe I'm going with. I never take it for granted, especially after like COVID, because like COVID really
sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, it really like my career was like 1.5 years I was doing nothing. And now I feel like, okay, I'm enjoying every moment, and it doesn't feel like work. And you know, it's good to look back sometimes, but I always feel like, yeah,
What's next?
I'm enjoying, you know.
Yeah, that's
Do
amazing.
you have a moment from like when you were starting out that like you would say like a story or a moment that you remember like being like, wow, I can't believe I'm here right now. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Yeah, it was. So I was posting my music to SoundCloud, and I was just proud of my productions, even though they sounded like crap back then. But anyway, I was just posting it, and I'd never really thought someone would play it. Like I had like 1 play or like 5 plays or 12 plays, but I was just sharing it for the sake of it. And then I remember like I got one comment from a guy from the US and I saw that comment, and I was running to my mom, like she was downstairs, and
What was the comment? What's the comment?
Like a fire,
Oh, a
like
fire.
fire, something like that. Not even, the emojis weren't even like a thing back then.
Oh,
There were no emojis.
Yeah.
So I was running downstairs, and I told my mom, "I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it." And I told her, and it's really funny because she says it to me all the time. I told her like, "You never have to worry about me ever.
Yeah.
I will be fine." That's what I told her, just from one comment. So it's funny. That was like the moment I thought like, okay, this, and I was really convinced. I could smell like success. I could feel like this is going to be something, you know. And even though I got one comment and I get no plays ever or whatever, but I was just feeling like this is gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you know, I just kept on going.
Well, reflecting back on the first track that you ever released,
Yeah.
compared, what do you think about it now? Is it still like the best track that you ever made, or?
No, not at all. But I feel like it's all part of the journey.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
It's fun to listen to. I don't hate it. I mean, like, of course, I feel like you were always learning as an artist and as a producer, musician. I feel like when you're done learning, you're doing something wrong. So you always have to keep challenging yourself. So of course you get better and sound design wise, everything. But when I listen back to it, I don't feel like it's the worst. I just feel like, okay, you know, it makes sense. I had to do this to get where I am right now.
Yeah.
So it's all part of the process, all part of the journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a moment like that, like, you know, that was a moment of like, oh, I'm gonna make it? Was there a moment like, oh, this may not be for me, or a lower moment where you had to think of like, damn, this is hard. This is work that I have to put in. This is hours I got to put in to get here.
It was. I never had that with production, but
Okay.
when I started touring, my tour schedule was getting filled up. I was doing. I was like 15, 16, and I was like the youngest producer DJ ever to get like a Beatport #1.
Yeah.
So in that time, when you get a Beatport #1, it's like a kickstart for your whole career. So you start touring and you get bookings. And I remember I was doing like bookings, but it was like across the globe. So I was playing Vegas, and I was playing India, and then I was playing in whatever, like Europe.
Yeah.
So I was playing like all over the globe, and I had to be everywhere. And I remember I was just doing it without enjoying it. So I was playing for crowds, and I was playing for the biggest energy, and everything was happening online. People were like freaking out.
Yeah.
And I just didn't enjoy it. I was just doing it because I felt like I have to do it. And it was not my main passion back then. So I really had to grow up in a way of that I had to, adjust to it.
Yeah.
And I had to learn about like touring, and I had to learn about ways to get to know crowds, playing for crowds.
Yeah.
Because I was a producer, I was not necessarily a DJ. You know?
DJ. Yeah. It's hard, man. Being 15 and you're taking away from, you know, the moments of childhood that you have to grow, right? Like,
Absolutely,
Like
yeah.
go mess around with your friends at like a bar, or
Yeah.
you know, it's just like,
There were moments where I was playing. For instance, I was in Miami. I was playing at a club,
yeah,
and my best friend was his birthday, and I remember he was telling me like, "Bro, you're in Miami. Why are you actually? Why are you complaining?" And I was like, "Yeah, I just want to be with you guys. I want to have fun, drink beers."
yeah,
You know, it was strange because you are literally in Miami, and everyone thinks like, "Okay,
Yeah.
this is the place to party."
Or, yeah.
Right.
But you actually rather want to be at home.
yeah.
But then again, this is your career, but it didn't feel like a career yet because I was so young. So I didn't have any responsibilities. I didn't have any, how do you say it? Like, I didn't have any normal job ever.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what it was to work. So I
Right.
didn't know what it was to feed your family or get money in the bank. I was just touring when I was 15. So
Yeah.
it's a different kind of way of working, different way of like getting to know what it's like. But to answer the question, if I ever had like a real down moment, it was, I think, the first tour I did in India, where I was only, when I was going with my parents, I went to New York once with my father,
Yeah.
and that was like the longest trip we ever did. And I haven't been that much in planes or stuff, so we were just only going on vacation by car. So I didn't know a lot about the world. I didn't see the world. And when I was going to India and I saw like, life over there, it was like a big culture shock to me. And I started to see the world from a different perspective. And you know, I was really feeling like I was a bit shocked by it. You know?
What was the moment for you? Like when you went to India, what did you see that made you reflect?
Like little kids literally on the street begging for food and money. And I saw you saw it on TV sometimes, but it really hits you when you see that in real life and you look like I was a kid myself. I was 15 and you look like another kid in the eyes. It was like something it hit me instantly. Like I was like, okay, this world is not fair. And that was like a really like strange moment for me that I was feeling like, okay, I am going here to party, have a good time. And there's people literally here in front of me that ask for food. Yeah. So I was just not,
It's like, it really puts it into perspective that we take everything for granted.
100%, yeah. So it's strange to say this, but I was kind of happy that I went there and experienced that. Of course, it's really bad to see it. Of course, you start to enjoy more about what you do and how blessed you are.
And then how does it feel when there's people out there not like in the best circumstances, but your music is what's giving them like happiness, a small amount of joy in the world, and like you see their smiles or you see them dancing and you see those things and you're a part of their day.
Man, that's the best feeling in the world, and that's why I do it. You know, it's all about creating something because you have a feeling and you want to share that feeling with people. And if people get like any way of an emotion or they feel like connected to your music, that's for an artist I think the biggest compliment you can get. Yeah.
What's the feeling that like, you know, you're able to provide for your family now, like at such a young age too, right? Like it's people wait like 23 or 26 to get a job and find their passion,
career path, and regular
path, right?
In the system.
It feels it feels unreal, to be honest. Especially because I have like a lot of friends in Amsterdam that do like other jobs, and they see like the real life, like they are like in offices or something, and I'm like literally doing something so unique. I'm not saying that it's not hard work, but I'm saying like I really enjoy the way of like traveling now and seeing different people, meeting so many amazing people around the globe, different cultures. And it's all about like good vibes because you're literally here to bring a party. You know, so I'm feeling very blessed about that.
That's amazing.
When things are going like perfect and the world is like on your side, what do you tell yourself? Like, when was there a moment when you got a large like you got booked for a festival or you got booked for a show that you were like, oh my god, like this is my job now. This is like, I'm doing this. I'm in. Like when you go, or like a large amount of money, you're like, oh, they're gonna pay me that much to do this?
Yeah.
Like, that's like when you first started, you know, getting the fame, getting the notoriety, getting the money as well. Like, was there time to get invested to that?
It's funny because my father was, he still is like very, how do you say it?
Traditional.
Not in, like, he's really, like, he's doing my finance side. Because I was 15 and he was like, okay, you're 15, you don't know a lot about money yet and how to spend it and stuff like that. So he was doing my finances, but I never, like when I started out, I just didn't know what I was earning. So I was doing shows, but I didn't care about the money because I was living with my parents. So imagine, like, you live with your parents, you don't have responsibilities, don't have any costs. I was just, you know, touring the world, playing shows. That was what I was doing, and that was what I wanted to do. That was my passion. I didn't think about money in a way of, I just didn't know what I was earning. And I remember, it's a funny moment, I was in a store with my mother, and I saw this shirt or something, and I said like, yeah, it's nice, but I don't know if I can afford it. And she's like,
you'll be fine.
Of course you can afford it. And you're like, you didn't even want to know what you earned last month. I said, okay, then I can buy the shirt. And that was like the moment I was like, holy shit, I can buy this shirt without having to save money for it. We're crazy.
That's a different power.
A
different feeling of like, I don't have to look at the price tag.
It's crazy.
The shirt's $4.
Something like that.
I don't gotta do a lemonade stand anymore. No more lemonade stand for me.
Yeah, man. But it was, it's funny because that's the reason why You know, I always look back at that moment and think like, okay, you know, that's real passion because you do it because you like it, you know, and not because of the money. Or you don't see it as like a business model that you are going to earn money or whatever. It's basically because you like what you do, and that's it.
You're also a lot like in the entrepreneurial world too. Like, where does that mind come from? Like the world of like business and the world of sort of that sense. Like in the world of music as well, getting that intertwined. Like
because I have a few friends who are like entrepreneurs as well, like in ways of they have their own business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of like similarities. It all started with a passion that turns into like something big, and then you make money out of that, and you're fully dedicated to that passion. So you're like fully focused, and you know what you want. And yeah, I guess that's what makes an entrepreneur successful, by just focusing fully on something that you like a passion, without knowing that you do it.
Yeah.
So there's like a lot of people that will tell you like, okay, you should focus on this, or you should focus. But if you don't feel it, you can never force yourself to do that.
Yeah.
It has to be natural. It has to be inside you. You have to be so crazy about something that that you cannot think of anything else, and that you don't have to force yourself to thinking about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I
I was never thinking of anything else than making music.
Yeah.
You know, and I was just doing it because I loved it. And that's what makes an entrepreneur an entrepreneur. Not because an entrepreneur wants to be an entrepreneur.
They just love the game.
They just love
the game.
They just love what they
their
do.
Journey.
You
Yeah,
know?
100%.
That's what I think.
Those are often the best entrepreneurs as well.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
They don't chase the materialistic of like, I want that Lamborghini, I want the Rolex, right? It's
True.
I want to
I
get
want
that
the
one.
I want a Lamborghini. But hey, like
I do. But it's all a side effect of.
Yeah,
It's a byproduct.
100%.
Yeah.
My thing I've said it multiple times on the podcast, like, I want a Lamborghini not because I want to show off. I want to do it for my 5-year-old self.
Exactly.
When I was 5, I had a poster of a Lamborghini, and I owe it to that kid
Exactly.
to be
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you did it, bro.
Exactly.
You did it, bro. It's not like a materialistic thing. Like, we live life, bro. Like, you're having fun. But
100%.
it's to prove to my younger self that, like, that's the one we did. And I think a good thing about you that you said about passion and business as well is what I realized is you don't always have to change your passion into a business if you don't want it. Because you may get caught up in the business world. I guess you love making music.
True.
Let's say you love playing basketball, but all of a sudden you get into the world of business, it may kill the vibe for
100%.
that, right? Did you always have a vibe for both sides as well? Like, what was something when you got into the industry that you didn't realize, oh, this is also a part of something I got to deal with?
Contracts.
Contract, yeah.
Like the way labels work, the way management works. It was really an eye-opening thing for me to, you know, I experienced bad things as well, like labels that screwed me, or you know, small letters in contracts. And I think the biggest lesson I learned is that you cannot do anything by yourself.
Yeah.
So you should never have like an ego. Know to surround yourself with the right people, and to get the right people to do the right things for you. And when you have that, it's really hard, because it's really hard to find the right people for stuff.
Yeah.
I got screwed, but at the end, that's part of the journey, I think. You know, you have to get screwed sometimes to know that you're never gonna let that happen again.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Does it hurt when you get screwed like that? Like, what's going through your mind? Like, do you have a story that maybe you can share? Maybe not like totally legally, but like, you know,
No, yeah,
whatever you can share?
I got dropped on my label when I was 18.
Wow.
And I think a lot of DJ producers would give up in that situation.
Yeah.
But for me, that was never an option, because I just always believed like, okay, this label doesn't want me. I know what I'm worth. So I'm going somewhere else, and I start my own label. So I did. I started it myself, and yeah.
And now that same
That's
label's
it.
calling you back.
Yeah, they do. Actually, literally, they do. It's funny because, you know, it's like it was all because of contracts, and of course, like, there's different people at the label now, so it's all fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny to look back at stuff and see like, okay, whatever happens to you, just keep on going. And I never had the feeling like, okay, this is something bad. I always felt like, okay, if they don't want me, I'll find something else. You know,
Yeah.
I'll make it work. I'll show you guys wrong,
Yeah.
and I did. I think so.
There was that time, you know, you mentioned at the start, there was a point where in COVID,
Yeah.
you didn't work. What was that period of your career like, in the sense that, you know, you can't do something that you're passionate about?
Oh, it's the worst. It was the worst in ways of I could like literally produce. So I
Yeah.
had a lot of time to produce. So the first year was actually like a blessing in ways of I was forced to take a break.
Yeah.
And I think I needed a break a little bit because I was touring nonstop from 16 years old. So I was taking a forced break, which was actually pretty nice. But then like the next year came and then I was like, okay, I make music now. I make party music, but there are no parties. So what am I actually doing? What is this? But it's funny because I was doing these live streams and it went really well and I was just building like an online community.
Yeah.
And you know, I really had really good times during COVID and really built like great community online. But yeah, to say it was an amazing period, no. But you know, that's why I love doing shows as well right now because you feel like, okay, this is something I missed when COVID was happening. So
Yeah.
you know,
Did you think that, oh, like this could be over for me?
no. Of course, like sometimes you think about it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Very good.
But I never thought that, you know, I'm a producer. Like I started producing, so I thought, okay, I'll just make music for the rest of my life. Then, if this goes like this,
Yeah.
then I can still be producing music, and there will be some form of artistic expression. There
Yeah.
will, but what it is, I'll find it out, and
Yeah.
it will work.
The world still needs music.
Exactly.
No matter
Yeah.
what.
So there was never any other plan B. It was just always.
Always one plan, and that's it. It's all or nothing. That's literally my life motto. If you
Yeah.
if you want to do something, you just go all out,
Yeah.
or you just don't.
Okay.
That's it.
I want to transition this like almost like 180 here. In terms of when you're on stage and you see all the hard work that you've put in come to life, and you see fan interactions, like people are coming up to you and saying, what's one of the craziest fan interactions you've had?
Well, I had a few crazy ones.
Yeah.
The craziest was, I felt a bit guilty actually because I was in Korea and I have a fan in Asia that travels. She's from Japan, but she travels like all over Asia to see my shows. And I was in Korea and I was getting home from the show or to the hotel, and I was going straight to bed because I was traveling for so long. Was sleeping after the show. Woke up to my phone, and I saw like a lot of messages from that fan saying like, "I'm in the lobby.
Oh no.
I want to take a picture with you." And she sent that like right after the festival, so she was already there.
Yeah.
But I was just in my room and I was sleeping, and I slept for like 10 hours straight. I had like the best sleep ever, and I woke up and I saw that. I was like feeling so guilty. So I walked down and she was still there. She was literally with a flag in the lobby. She slept like in the lobby to take a picture with me. She was just hoping for me to come outside of my room. And when I saw that was insane.
What does that feel like to know that you have that effect on someone, right? It's like life.
Unreal.
Yeah.
It's unreal because I never, you know, that's also because I'm Dutch. Like they call Dutch people like sober people in ways of we don't take ourselves too serious, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just I just feel like, okay, I'm just a normal guy, you know what?
Yeah.
You know, that's what I always think. But it's funny, you know, it's the best, like I said, like the best compliment you can get as an artist is to have fans, you know, to have someone that likes your music and shares a bit of the same passion that you do. Or they like the same music.
Do you like, this is just a personal, like, does this ever get to like your head? Like, how do you remain so humble in that situation? Like, I'll speak personally for myself. When things are going so great, I'm like, yes, let's go.
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
top
yeah.
of the world. I get humbled real quick though. But like, how do you stay humble through those moments? How do you see like the vision past of like, okay, this is, I've worked for this, I'm here, but I know it's not the end.
that's also because like this industry where I'm in, there's like peak moments. But for instance, when you do like a tour, but then you get home and then you are like all the way down because you're at home, you're not doing shows, there's no like attention. It's a whole different vibe. So it's like peak moments, but also like low moments, and this whole time it's like
Up and
something
down.
different, up and down.
Yeah.
So for me, it helps to see this touring not as reality in a way of this never lasts. Like you just have to enjoy every moment, and as long as you do that, you can keep it going.
Yeah.
And if you just enjoy every moment you're in, for me it works like this.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, it's lasting forever. I think because you will never feel like down or you feel lonely or whatever.
You know, we talked about the low points, but I'm sure there were many high points. When did you know that you've made it? Like this is my dream. That 15-year-old that's making music is performing in front of millions and millions of people. When did you know?
When I bought my first house, it's
What was that story?
it's a materialistic thing. It's
Yeah.
funny because there's two moments. So I played Ultra Main Stage, and I remember I was watching the live stream when I was young.
Yeah.
And I was watching the live stream and I saw the buildings of Miami downtown. And I saw that and I was like, okay, from my computer screen, this is the dream.
Yeah.
And I was playing main stage and I was seeing the same buildings, and I was like, this is a full circle moment. It came back to me like, okay, I made it.
Yeah.
That's like career-wise. All the way, I was buying my first house, and I remember I was buying a house and I saw myself as a little kid walking down that street where I bought the house, and I was like, okay, I was playing here with my friends and we were looking at these houses like, wow, you know, and then I bought one of those houses and I was in there and I was like, okay, I guess I did something right. You know, it's funny. Yeah, that was a moment for me to say that I really made it in another way.
Yeah.
But you know, as an artist also, I feel like you never made it or something. You always want to push further in a way of, you know, you just want to make music and you want to have fun. And like there's no way of, because I'm super proud of like a track that maybe doesn't work well.
Yeah.
And I'm also super proud of a track that becomes a really big success. But I'm proud of both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're gonna think in ways of you made it because you're successful, you know, then you will be disappointed whenever you get something that is not successful.
Right.
So I feel like everything you do, you just feel you have to be confident and feel like, okay, just made something that I just made this track, I made it. You know.
Yeah.
When I got one comment from the guy from
fire emoji
from the US,
Yeah.
I was like, I made it. You know, one comment, but that's it. That's the feeling you should like continue to have always.
What's it like getting a #1 Billboard hit?
Beatport was it?
Oh, sorry.
I wish it was Billboard.
Oh, sorry.
No worries.
I'm a North American.
No, Beatport is like the iTunes of dance music.
Okay. What's it like when you get a #1 hit?
How
How does that work? Do they like send you an email? Do they like show up at your door with like a plaque? Like
It's funny because most of the times when stuff like that happens, there's like successful things happening all the time. So like the hype gets built up, and you play like great shows, and you get like a lot of messages from fans. So you're in kind of this tornado. So you don't really realize what is happening. So you post like, okay, I got a #1. But for me, it didn't really feel like a moment to sit back and enjoy and see like, okay, I did this. It was just like, okay, #1, let's tour, let's do these shows. So you're constantly like in a tornado of stuff happening. So you don't really have time to reflect on it. It's crazy, but yeah, that's how it feels.
yeah.
Have you ever had your what now moment?
What, sorry?
Your what now moment. So it's like, I played in front of 1 million fans. What do I do now?
Like that's your dream forever. I compare this to like football or basketball players when they win a championship.
Oh, like that.
And they're
So
like,
I'm done.
I worked so hard my entire life for this moment. What now?
I think you have to keep dreaming. You know,
Yeah.
if you give up on your dreams or you feel like I already did everything, then that's the end. You have to keep going. There's other things you could do, or like I will always dream bigger. You know, there's bigger venues, bigger places to go, and even if you do like the big venues, you can dream about something completely different. like ways of I want to do something else with production, or I want to make a different kind of track, or you know, it always will keep on going.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's talk about the production almost, or more of the set design and like the special effects of that.
Yeah.
Do you get to design your set in the way that you like, and what are some things that you've added throughout the recent years that you've seen either the crowd react positively, or certain almost like tactical things like, oh, I'm going to do this at this point because I know it's going to do well?
Visual wise, you mean, like the
Yeah.
visual
Yeah.
during a set? Yeah. I work together with a really talented team that does like the visuals for a lot of big artists, and yeah, we were just like, we had this creative meeting of saying like, we want this and we want to have this vibe, and this will work really well. And I have like my primary colors that I want to have in my visuals. It's like red,
Yeah.
black and white is really nice. I like that as well, like the effect of like full wide screens, or like fire because of the energy that is in my sets. I want to have like real fire on my visuals. So it really, you know, it's really nice to do those things as well, because you can, aside of music, you can do something with visual work as well.
Yeah.
But I'm not like, I cannot produce any like visual content, but I'm just a musician. Like I love music,
Yeah.
but I feel like it's, when you combine the two together, it's like magic, you know?
Do you have to ever force yourself to make music? Like, you know, book writers, they go and write 1 page a day. They force themselves to
Yeah.
write. Do you ever force yourself to produce?
Yes, I do now. I didn't do it for a long time. I was just only working when I was inspired.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's always something you can do, you know? So now when I'm at home, I produce every day, and I produce basically from the morning till nighttime. And sometimes you produce nothing, nothing comes out, but then you still do something, or you're learning. So I feel like I felt like I should have been producing more, because I was always touring, and then when I got
Yeah.
home I was tired, and I wasn't really feeling inspired, because I was like super, like there so much was happening. But now I feel like, okay, focus. Yeah, it works well, because now I'm in the studio and I'm way more productive,
Yeah.
to be honest. So I force myself now.
How do you reset? How do you reset from a big tour? Do you like take a week off and like go to the Bahamas?
Like when you're at
Yeah, I
home.
wish.
Or you come to Kenora?
No, just at home with friends, you know, it's simple. Like life at home, cooking food, eating with friends, or just partying with friends as well. You know, everything is, for me, is a relaxation, especially when you're, yeah, or like when I'm going to the gym at home, stuff like that. It's just simple, normal life. I love that. I love to have that as soon as possible when I get home.
Is that because you didn't have that growing up, in the sense that you got fame so quickly at a young age?
I don't know, actually. I do think like all of our friends, they love to party still. So
Holland moves.
yeah,
Holland moves different.
yeah.
Yeah, bro.
So that's yeah. But to be honest, Canada as well, man.
Yeah,
last
fair,
night
At the party.
Hey, fair. That's
we had to we were the first ones leaving, right?
yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. You're here at Lakeside Live, Kenora, performed around the world. Oh, what's the big goal now? You said you're always pushing the goal next and
Yeah.
next and next. Like, if you had to manifest something, what would you manifest, and what would you say that your big goal is now?
Oh, I think we left over there. That's when the camera was out.
Yeah.
A big goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, my big goal right now is I want to do bigger venues, and I would really want to do like a big show in Holland, where I'm from.
Nice.
So I feel like that would be really nice.
Yeah.
Do like a hometown show. But it could also be like a really intimate show for like people that I know.
Yeah.
But
What's stopping you from doing that?
I'm doing it every year, but I just want to do like a big
Bigger.
venue. Like
Yeah.
that would be sick, to have like a really sick headlining show at home,
Uh-huh.
because I haven't played in Holland that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I skipped directly to like international shows.
International shows, yeah.
So yeah, that would be nice.
Uh-huh.
That's a goal for me.
Any advice that you can give to the listeners out there, whether they're wanting to get into music or they're chasing their dreams? Any advice?
Yeah, my advice is actually that you should always put the work in yourself. Never expect something from anyone. You know, you have to do everything by yourself and know everything, whatever it is, and build the right team around you.
Yeah.
You know, do not have an ego, but know that no one is gonna run as hard as you are gonna run. So don't take it for granted. Like, of course you have to work with people, but you have to know what they do. So always make sure to, you know, to put the work in yourself. Like, for instance, you can get a record deal, but that wouldn't mean that you are going to break through as an artist.
Yeah.
The reason why you break through is because of the artist, because of your own work. So there's no magical label or manager that's going to help you break through, or that's going to help you get famous.
Yeah.
You have to do that yourself. And the moment you realize that you are the only person that wants to succeed as badly as, there's just one person that wants it as badly as you, and that's you.
Yeah.
There's no one else, you know. Like
Yeah,
for instance, you can get a good team and friends, they want you to succeed as well, but it's different, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, I would say just put the work in and, you know, enjoy a bit also.
Yeah.
Have fun, and just think about nothing else than your passion, and, you know, be crazy about it.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be like talking about it non-stop. I remember I was like dating girls, and I was 14, 15, and I was telling them about DJing and stuff like that, and they must have been like, "What the fucking weirdo?" But I was just doing because I was so passionate about what I was doing. Yeah, I was obsessed
with it.
Yeah.
Yes. Speaking of dating girls, I'm gonna give you a spicy question here. So, you know, as a life of an artist,
Yeah.
you're on stage. You know, you got people around you. What's a female interaction looking like? What's one of those signs that you see? What's one that you can share maybe that you've seen?
Oh wow, yeah, so much. Yeah, to
Like,
be honest,
well, why is that on a sign?
not on the side,
or
not
or when they're sent
necessarily.
to you or something.
Yeah,
You don't have to share if you don't want to.
no. I'm thinking like I have a girlfriend now, which is like, for me it works really well because I had like the rock and roll tour life for a bit, but yeah, that really didn't help my career that much, to be honest. Like focus wise.
Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm having to think back to that period where I was like, the craziest thing someone said to me. Yeah, I remember I was in a relationship, and I was it was my first girlfriend, and we were going to Vegas.
Yeah.
And I was there was like a big after party after the show.
Yeah.
And there were like a lot of like girls, and they just straight like wanted to you know,
Have a good time.
have a good time. But I was like 17 or something, or 18.
Wow.
So I couldn't even, like, I had to. The funniest thing is I was in Vegas, I was doing a show.
Wait, how do you get in? Well,
I could, like, they escorted me to the booth, and then when I was done, they had to escort me back to the room. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's
And then I was just going to the after party because of my friends. They were there,
Yeah.
and it was fun. But I was like so young, and I had a relation, so I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
But it was funny to see, like, it was my first because I dated girls at home, but it was like, you know, I was like a really shy guy back in the day, so I wasn't really used to girls or stuff like that. And then I was like, my first party in
America.
In America,
Yeah.
I was 16. I remember I was 16, and I did the show, and then the girls were like, "Let's get it." Like, what? Not used to anything like this at all, ever. So I'm like, what is happening? You know? But yeah,
Did you have
it's like
did you have the tats at that time?
no.
Okay.
No, I was so yeah.
All right.
It was a different time, but that was like my, in ways of like, of course, like weird, like they say weird stuff
Yeah,
sometimes.
100%.
but what is weird? You know?
Yeah.
That's my spicy question for you.
Yeah. No, I was thinking about it, but it's nice.
All right.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much, brother,
Yeah.
for doing this interview with us.
Thank
Much
you.
love,
Thank
brother.
you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Looking forward to seeing your show. Oh, you're up.
Oh, I can't be doing that. I can't be doing that. I can't
All
be
right.
doing
If you haven't already, make sure to check out Julian. We'll link everything in the description. And until next time.
See you next time.
Let's go, baby.
Bye.
Let's
Bye-bye.
go.